Whew. Okay, I just got off the bus. It's 5:57 p.m. now. As you know, I went up, eventually left to get my prescription how long ago. Did some food shopping. And I've kind of been documenting my way up and back. I did, just got off. I'm going to show you this where nice retention pond. Usually when the geese and the ducks are here, I like to come and watch them for a little while. And you can see we're at the cattails. And then over, there's a little cut through. When I walk to the Wendy's or to the 7-Eleven, there's a small little retention pond I like to sit in and watch the birds, the finches, and the other things, little creatures that nest. I saw a woodchuck running by too, and also a hawk flying above me as I was walking on Route 73. The bus driver saw me talking, and she said it is a very dangerous walk, especially for a disabled person. And they actually probably should have a bus that runs up and down 73, but they don't. Now I'm going to show you, go back in my blogs, the Econo Lodge, which was Fellowship Inn, which was where I spent a couple days and took some video of when my brother, when I left Randall's, that's where I stayed for a couple nights. I paid for myself. Was actually had my computer open, and I knew that I had a warrant for failure to appear because I could not make it to the court because of everything that was going on at that time, and didn't have the just the $500 bail money for the medical marijuana arrest, which is kind of comical to me now because you can tell that I set that up on purpose. And then with my brother harassing me at Randall's house, I came and stayed there for a couple days, called and left my whereabouts on my mother's message machine, and then he found me here. And then you go across, there's a Bob Evans, and I go across 73 if I held it up. There's a Luke Oil across the street where I'd made a phone call from the payphone to Kevin on Mother's Day, which is documented. And then that motel right there is when I called the police. Actually, Tracy McShane was on the phone with me. When they showed up, I called the police about the stalking, and I had a warrant. And, he's just like, okay, turn around, put your transponder back. And I was like, alright. And actually, I wrote a postcard to Habby, didn't bail me out. I tried to get in touch with my mother, they wouldn't bail me out. They left me there. And I spent 3 weeks, and I learned a lot. I interviewed a lot of people, but at least I was safe, and I had food. And I had somewhere to sleep. It was horrible and excruciatingly painful. But as always, I take things as, I learned a lot as well. From the girls that I interviewed, I found out, what it's like. And because of my discipline and my meditation, it wasn't horrible. There's a lot worse things. I'm alive, first of all. But if you look back in the videos that I was taking of me on the phone and seeing the reaction that it was having on me, either being triggered psychologically, it was like a seizure, like shaking. I still want to have a neurologist take a look at that. I'm nice and steady. I do, when I get, my nerves will cause me to shake a little bit, but that's why I take the anxiety medication and I do the meditation. I feel good, the adrenaline, but I'm aching. I'm going to have to strap the laptop back on my shoulder. The 2 bags of groceries that I have to make it back, I have about a 3/4 of a mile, 2-mile walk back from where I'm sitting right now. I don't have an odometer or anything like that to clock it officially, I could time it, but I'm very exhausted by now. And I very much, I mean, would like to take my shoes off and just go wade in that water. And that would actually feel so nice to me when I used to have my ponds and would clean them out, especially in the spring. Or like about this time before the fish would go to hibernate. Go in and just stand up to my knees, and I've actually dug holes in ponds where it was up to your waist, and you know, because it has to be deep enough for the koi to go down and survive the winter. We did have a pond freeze over one time, and we thought they were all dead because we chipped down and that thing was frozen solid, and they were still alive down there. And then when we moved, we bought a big fish tank. We tried to adapt them and bring them in so we could take them with us. Unfortunately, we lost most. And the frogs, I tried to acclimate to try and take them too and bring them inside, but it's very difficult to duplicate Mother Nature in certain controlled conditions when they're used to their own hibernation adaptation. It's unless you have like well, I did have kind of like a laboratory, but unless you do it a certain way, and it's not always successful. It's a very kind of slow process, and taking something from the natural world, from its natural environment, and trying to acclimate it into a confined, or I'm sure people who are zoologists or people who try and save either beached whales or capture animals from the wild and bring them into a captive situation. It is difficult, but I have never had a frog survive the process. Bring one out of hibernation. Of course, it has to be done naturally. I should have just taken it and put it into a natural setting instead of trying to take it with us or bring them in. You know, I have hatched a duck egg, you know, in a home setting before, but then again, the duck thought I was its mommy and followed me around, but we unfortunately did not survive. I wrote about that, and it's still a wonderful experience, little Daffy. But I think that the water supply I had for him, he just was not big enough to get to it. So he was squeaking and squeaking, and I heard him, and I should have went out and put him in the water. On the next day, he was, you know, no longer with us, and he was, you know, about from my wrist to my fingertips tall when he passed away, little Daffy. But he would follow me around the pond and follow me all over the yard because I was his mommy, because I was the first one he saw when he was hatched. And Hab saw that, the children got to see it, and actually Tracy McShane got to see it too. I don't know what happened to the pictures. I've raised little chicks before to the point where they were, you know, egg laying, go out and collect the fresh eggs and all, and then of course you have to give them to the farms or whatever. Okay, I'm running low on my battery. I don't want anything to end up in the trash. I am going to start walking back to the hotel now, plug in and continue this and finish it, and hopefully get an idea of 6:07 p.m. now what my day was like.